We are back at Dana's, not at our usual studio spot downtown. Usually we're downtown, Weez. That's probably closer to where you. But this is one of our favorite spots. This is Dana's. This is Xavier, legendary bar. You get legendary drinks here. The Herschel was born here. Like this is where we should be doing this interview, CJ.
Right.
You didn't have any issues with us doing this here.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Can I give you a fair introduction? Am I allowed to give you a fair introduction? Are you ready for it?
Let's see.
C.J. Anderson is the pride of Cincinnati and Winton Woods High School. Played at Manhattan from 2004 to 2006. Averaged over 16 points per game as a freshman. Averaged over 18 points per game as a sophomore. Transferred to Xavier. At Xavier, he averaged double figures both years from 07 to 08 as well as 08 to 09. Scored over 1,000 points in his career. In my opinion, the game that put C.J. on the map here at Xavier was versus number 8 Indiana. Eric Gordon on that team. CJ, you had 19 points, 8 rebounds in that game. NCAA tournament, you guys went to the Elite Eight as a junior. And then the one year I got to play with you, I was a freshman. We went to the Sweet 16. And then we lost, unfortunately, to Pittsburgh in that game. But CJ Anderson, you're one of the favorite Xavier players of all time. You're known for your tenacity on the court, how special you were on both ends of the floor. And a guy that I enjoyed playing with. So, C.J. Anderson, welcome to the Be Different podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Was that good enough?
That was too much.
No, I could have gone more. I actually had 3 pages of stats and quotes that I was going to have from you. But now you're really known for being C-Weez, and the C is for classy.
For sure.
C-Weez and the C is for classy.
For sure.
CJ, first thing I want to talk to you about are the Musketeers this year. I know that you follow the team. I just want your takes on these guys, this team, and how they've performed this year.
In my opinion, I think this is probably like one of the top 3 teams probably in school history. Got a chance to be the best team in school history, going in, see how we do in March. But I'm excited. I love the way this team's performed, responding to adversity. Guys been going through slumps. Even Trayvon went through a little slump where he wasn't shooting the ball particularly well, but the team covered him. They playing well. They get along. You can tell, like, they're kind of like how we was off the court. You can tell they like each other. They hang with each other. So I like this team. What
about JP? I saw you put out a tweet about JP and what he's done. How much are you going to miss JP McCura, number 55, coming in and playing at the Cintas Center?
JP, that's my dude, man. I was sick. I couldn't make it to the last game. I was sick. JP, that's my dude, man. I'm gonna miss him, man. He brought a lot of energy. Like he just the way he affected the game in different ways. If he's not scoring, he might get a rebound, a steal, dive, save the ball, get the crowd involved. Like his overall impact on the team, like It's special.
What about the younger guys? Even I'll take it to a sophomore like Quentin Gooden, who's really stepped up lately. Najee Marshall, the same thing. Can you speak on one of those guys and the value you see in them moving forward?
Yeah, being that I forget he's a sophomore at times. He plays with such good pace, under control. He rarely makes mistakes. So it's like sometimes I forget he's a sophomore because he plays so mature and the way he controls the game. So that's you can't ask for much more in a sophomore point guard. And Najee, I love the way he's just aggressive. He's a killer. He's just attacking at all times. Sometimes he might make a mistake, but it's an aggression. It's trying to be good. It's trying to be great. So I love the way he plays.
Who do you think was a better defender in their day, Najee Marshall or Brad Rutford? Do you want to pass on that question?
Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
We'll pass on that question.
You got stops when you needed to.
That's fair. That's fair. You remember when BJ came? It was prior to the St. Bonaventure game. I was driving baseline, and he jumped in the air and he attacked me, and he hit me in the mouth with his elbow. Do you remember that?
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
What about any other moments you remember? There's one moment I always talk to people about when we talk about the Crosstown Shootout, and that was your senior year at UC. Do you know what moment I'm talking about, or do you need me to expand?
It was a few. Which one are you talking about?
So I'm the one my freshman year, and this is when people talk about the Crosstown Shootout and great moments. One of the best moments that I remember was with you, and we won the game in Cincinnati or at Fifth Third Arena, and we're going into the locker room, and Sean Miller was out there, and the hug and the smile and the embrace that you two had, that is honestly one of the best moments I have in the shootout.
Yeah.
Do you remember that moment?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was special. I mean, my sit-out year, we played over there, and they kicked our ass, like, bad. Like, and I was sitting there, I was watching, I was like, man, that's never going to happen when I'm playing. Like, never. And I promised that to him, and I kept my promise, and that's what that was about.
And Sean was a big reason, I'd assume, why you came to Xavier. I know you're from Cincinnati, but Sean, you know, from my perspective, playing with you and playing under Sean, was that you guys had a very strong relationship. Does that be fair?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Him and Andrew Lavender was big reasons why. But when I got here, some things that I had went through off the court, we became a lot closer, and it strengthened our relationship.
So do you have any a check or cash for me that you still have from those days?
Listen,
I'm just kidding.
I wish.
So what do you make of everything that's happened so far? I only played for Sean for 1 year. So Sean recruited me for a couple years before I got there. I really didn't get to know him that well.
Right.
You know, Sean never gave me any money. I can promise you that. I wasn't a good enough player to get cash from Sean. So, but I respected Sean from the way that he commanded a room, from the way that Sean coached. I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Miller. You're with him a little bit longer than I am. I mean, what do you make of everything that's going on with him right now?
I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Like, I heard about it. I didn't really read up on it. Mario sent me a link to his press conference or whatever it was he did the other day, and if he say he did, then I'm going to go with that. He never lied to me before. Everything he always told me was always true. He always kept his word. So I can only go with that. So he say he didn't do it. He say he didn't. He never discussed it. He never knowingly did it. I'm going to roll with that. So hopefully when all the details come out, that's what the situation is. Outside
of Sean, does anything bother you in terms of like FBI investigations, money changing hands here? Does it bother you that you played kind of during that era? I mean, I would hope that some of this will get cleaned up. Does it bother you at all that you played during that time at all?
I mean, it doesn't bother me that I played during that time. It just, I think the situation overall bothers me that it's just that's just the situation at hand. Like, they can try to clean it up, but money talk in most situations. So you got kids coming from all different backgrounds, and you know what I'm saying? They got different people in their ear, different people around them, so you never know. Like, a lot of times the kids don't even be aware. It'd be adults.
But don't you think that's part of the issue, that some of the kids and their kids don't have an understanding? They can't talk on that level yet, right? I mean,
right.
So do you? I mean, I guess maybe what I'm. Do you feel like some of these kids get taken advantage of at times?
For sure. That's a big part of it, because like I said, kids coming from all different backgrounds never had $100 in their pocket, let alone a couple of thousand. So it's easy for one of these people to walk into a bathroom at an AU tournament. Here you go, man. Hand them some money. They don't know who they taking money from.
And I know for me, and I'm sure you had the same experience, but I'm playing in AAU, and I didn't come from a background of a ton of money, you know. So everything that I got was awesome. Free shoes, I get free gear, I get free flights, free stays.
Right.
I mean, and then you go to college and you get free tuition. You get all this stuff is free, and it's you get big gyms, you get big crowds, you get a lot of stuff.
Right.
But to some degree, it's all fluff, right? Because then you're out, and that's not there anymore, and you go from there. And that's where I think that college basketball and college football at a high level, that's where the issue bothers me, because I do feel like there just has to be a system where the players are put first. And I don't know what it looks like completely,
right?
But I think players like yourself, you know, guys that played in the system, are the best players, best people to describe what's going on and the feelings that they felt. And I feel like that's not taken accounted for, in my opinion. And you know, the relationships that I have with college players now, it's the same thing. It's the same. They don't even know what's happening.
Right.
And that's, I guess, for me, I was asked if it bothered you because it does bother me at times that you grew up, that I was in that system at that time. Because I hope there's change.
Yeah.
Maybe not from the NCAA, but, I mean, do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I do. And I also feel like with the investigations and everything, like, they should be investigating that. But at the same time, like, somebody somewhere has to take a real hard look at what the NCAA has going on. They don't answer to anybody. They make rules, they set them, and then that's just it. They don't. Who do they answer to? Nobody. So I think the FBI investigation, that's in the right place. They got to clean that up. But at the same time, somebody somewhere got to take a look at the NCAA.
Yeah, and I don't know. For when I watch what goes on in like national media, and I see a lot of guys talk, it's like let's get players that were in that system, get guys that were close to the game, and have a good understanding of it. And I think that could go a long way. So if we can get C. Wees on the board of directors, I think that would be a start.
I think they scared of stuff like that.
They're scared of stuff like that.
Not with just myself, but like having our perspective on it, because we'll see it different from them because they didn't go through what we went through. So they seeing it from a completely different lens than what we gonna be telling them. Like this is what actually going on when it's late at night and the cafeteria closed and you got $1.50 in your pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and you have to trust people, and people look at that time frame from 18 to 21 or 18 to 22 when you're in college. But this system starts when you're 12, 13. Like if you don't get funneled into the right group of people that have the clout to get you in touch with people, you're not going to make it. It's like for me, I had to make a decision when I was 13 or 14. Okay, I got to trust this group to get me here.
Right. Right.
And now I look back on it, a lot of that was probably based on old ties, and I don't know if money was exchanged, but it's just an awkward game that I would like to see them kind of change up for players. And, you know, my family had no idea what was going on or what they needed to do.
Right.
You know, did you have the same situation at some level?
Yeah, I mean, for me, when I made both of my college decisions on my own. I didn't ask my mom or my dad. I just did what I wanted to do. So I looked at things differently. So when I was in New York and I was deciding to transfer, I knew I wanted to come home. So it was only between two schools, and I felt more comfortable with what was going on over here at Xavier versus what was going on over there at the other school. And I didn't need to talk to anybody about that. So it's just different for different people. So, you know, I just I do what I want to do.
Made your decision.
I always been like that. I'm gonna do what I want to do. So that's just me.
That's fair. I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that. So, C. Wees, man, you're the man. I appreciate it.
Thanks
you're the
for
man.
having me,
you're
man.
awesome.
Yeah.
And we're hoping. I know that both of us hope that the Muskies make it to the Final Four, right? All the former players. I saw the guys a couple weeks ago. I went to practice. I got the chance to speak with them afterwards. I was like, you know, go get this thing done, man. Have some fun while you're doing it. This group seems to have that.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a message for Coach Mack, the staff, and the players as they go on to the Big East tournament, NCAAs, what would your thoughts be? Now you get to get on you get the Dick Vitale hat right here. You get to get on the coaching hat.
I mean, for real, at this point in time in the season, like, it's just kick ass and take names. Let everybody else sort it out afterwards.
I think we got to end on that. C. Wees, you are the man. We appreciate you coming into the Be Different podcast, joining us at our studio, our makeshift studio over at Dana's.
No problem.
We'll have to do this again soon.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
C. Wees.
All right.